Hey everyone, Nicole Moss, co-founder of Moss Consulting. I'm so excited to be with you today with a special edition of the Moss Minute called Park Talk, where we talk to entrepreneurs within Easton Park about their businesses and their journey and living in Easton Park. So today we have Christina Williams. I'm so excited that you're spending time with me today. She owns, what's the name of your company?
The Day of with Christina.
And what do you do?
I am a wedding coordinator and event planning consultant.
Okay, tell me more.
Sure. So couples come and they ask about support and guidance through the wedding planning process, and I am your girl.
Okay.
So I support couples as they are preparing for the wedding.
Okay.
I support them as their day of coordinator, and I love it.
Okay. What got you? Why weddings?
So this is how it all started, and I love this for two reasons.
Okay.
So it started because somebody saw something in me.
Okay.
I produced and directed fashion shows when I was in college.
Okay.
And someone asked me to be their son's wedding coordinator, and I'm like, I've never done a wedding a day in my life.
Okay.
But okay. So drove to Miami and did this gorgeous wedding on a golf course, and I haven't looked back since.
Okay. So you were given the opportunity or the challenge, probably in the moment felt very challenging and where did you drive to Miami from?
Atlanta. At the time I was living in Atlanta.
Okay. So this is like a big deal.
Yeah.
And you go and what did you do for them?
Yeah, so I supported them with planning the bachelorette party. I don't do that now, but I supported them with planning the bachelorette party and celebration, the rehearsal dinner, and then, of course, managing the flow of the day of. And so what's really unique is I can also be paired with a wedding planner, which is a different person. That's a different title, a different role. And so my services can be paired with a wedding planner. With this situation, the wedding planner was only booked for so many hours.
Okay.
And so I was there the entire day as their
Gotcha.
coordinator.
That's awesome. My husband and I got married 10 years ago, and I can still remember the loveliness of that day, but also the stress. We didn't have a wedding planner. We didn't have a wedding coordinator. So we kind of planned it all. And the day of, you're like, I really hope this all comes together as we hoped. So I think that it's such a great need now. And I think it's much more accessible to brides and to grooms. What do you say to people who are like, oh, there's no way I could afford a wedding coordinator?
I understand the financial aspect. Weddings are expensive. There are so many moving pieces, a lot of people involved, but there's so much value in having somebody manage your day. So the value piece that I offer is I help couples have a hands-off wedding day experience. And so that allows me to come in, even if you're the type of couple that says, I might not be able to afford you through the full wedding planning process, that's okay. I can still come in and manage the day. So I'm taking that pressure off of you so that you can truly enjoy the most precious day of your lives together.
I saw on your website, and you say it so I don't butcher it, but what's your tagline on your website?
Yeah, as you focus on your special moment, allow me to focus on every other moment.
I love that. I think that's so great because it's true. It's true. Someone told us, they're like, you're going to forget to eat. You're not going to sit down. It's going to be over so fast. And it really was after our wedding, Steve and I, it was the day after. We sat down on our couch and we both just started crying because it was just like beautiful. I mean, it was all very happy, but like we had spent like a year planning for this 1 4-hour, situation. And then it was over. Yeah. And so I think that if we could go back, I would certainly do somebody like, no matter what it took, like to have someone the day of. What about, have you ever been gifted, as if like, hey, a mom is like, okay, you're too stressed, let me gift you this service. Is that something that you've experienced?
Yes and no. When I do like wedding expos, everyone wants to go, I want to taste cakes, or I want to see how many tuxes, my fiance can go try on or look at some of the other vendors. And I will have mom say, no, you need to come look at the wedding planner. You need to come look at the wedding coordinator. Right. And so the bride is usually putting out some of these tasks on their family members, their aunts, their cousins, family, friends, who also want to enjoy the day. Right. Once I'm done with the day, I'm done. Once your family member, your cousin, your aunt or so, they're still in relationship with you. And so
Right.
you want to care for those relationships.
Yeah.
And when I'm done, we're done.
Yeah.
So you don't have to worry about that.
I think that's great. It's because it's a stressful day. You're
Yeah.
mixing family, there's a lot of money involved, everything has to be perfect. It's a stressful thing. So to have that as a service is great. So you're in Easton Park.
Yeah.
You're new to Easton Park?
Yes, a little over a year.
Okay. So not new
Newish.
anymore. What's your favorite thing about living here?
Oh gosh, how much time do we have?
All the time you want.
I know everyone says this, but truly the community.
Yeah.
I lived in multiple cities, multiple states, and I just haven't found anything like this.
Special.
It's like the people here not only want to be here, but they want to be here with everyone else. And they make sure that they exude that when you meet somebody. And so that's just something that's really sweet, really unique. And you can tell that that's important to everyone here.
Yeah, it's so cool. We've been here since 2018.
Okay, yeah.
We love it. And it was just a feeling that we had from even the very beginning. And I think that someone who really instilled that was our first like event director within Brookfield. Her name was Colette. She was amazing, and she got everyone together and just did these really like cool activations and cool projects where we got to know each other like really well. And it was neat. And it was, at that time, it was only Bryant Park and Nob Hill. And anyone who lived in only Bryant Park, when it was only Bryant Park, would have a completely different, like a deeper story than we do. But we've made some of our best friends in Easton Park, and it's just like a really special thing. And you're not unique in saying that community. Like, I think everyone that we've talked to, when we ask their favorite thing, it's community. And I think that's so beautiful.
Yeah.
And within, and so unique too. And it is very genuine, which is, I think, where the uniqueness comes from. I think if you go deeper into that community, there is a community of entrepreneurs in Easton Park. And I think that one of my favorite things about this is it's like a group of driven individuals who are in small business who truly, genuinely want to support one another. And how can we lift each other up? How can we support each other's business? So if anyone in Easton Park needs to get in touch with you, or maybe they're planning a wedding, or their child's planning a wedding, or their friend, what's the best way for them to reach out to you for help?
A few different ways. I mean, I'm on all of the Facebook channels that Easton Park has to offer, including the Entrepreneurs Club Facebook channel. On my website, you can book a free consultation with me, www.thedayofwith.com. Social channels, the.dayof. And I want to talk to you. I want to be able to answer questions. Sometimes people just don't know where to start. And outside of weddings, I do corporate events. I've done table reads for film producers. So even if you just don't know where to start, I'm an event planning consultant. I can support you through the planning process.
Great. That's awesome, actually. So we're talking about weddings, and I'm sure that that's fun because that seems like a passion for you, but it's really the events that you're very good at. What does it take? I'm sure it takes a lot of organization and operational skill, but like, what does it take to be able to run any event?
Understanding what the final goal is. You can have all these moving pieces and some really cool stuff, happening. And it's like, but did that take my client to what they were trying to get to? And so for me, it's the logistics that are important. I need the details in order to coordinate, to design, to figure out. And so once I know your end goal and what resources you currently have, then I can either bring in what's additional, what's needed, and then plan out everything else.
That's awesome. It sounds so stressful. I think that there's like people that just have that gear, and like I do not, but it's so like
I have it.
You have it. And so when you're dealing, like, there must be like a psychological aspect, especially in a wedding. So you're going into someone's at that point, probably their most emotional day, their most exciting day. Like, how do you manage the stress and the happy tears and maybe some stress tears? Like, how do you kind of manage the people within an event?
It can vary. And I say that because, like you said, the tears can be those of joy, those of, sadness. And I allow my couples and even the additional people that I'm working with feel what it is that you need to feel. All right, let's get back to work because this is what we need to do. Da, 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 da.
Yeah.
So I say, feel what you need to feel for this moment, but I don't want you to feel this any longer. Put that on me. I manage this. I control this. How did you get to this point? then let me take that on. So I always share with my clients, the more information I have, the better I can do.
Yeah.
So give me the information, give me the resources, give me the people that made you cry, and I will handle it.
Yeah.
But to me, it really is about the couple and them experiencing what it is that they desire to experience.
That's awesome. So you have a passion for entrepreneurship.
I do.
You started the Entrepreneurs Club in Easton Park, which
Yeah.
my husband and I are a part of, and we look forward to it. What got you into entrepreneurship, and like, where does that passion come from?
Okay. My dad.
Okay.
I grew up in a home where my parents instilled in us, go, do, be who you want to be. And they ensured that we had the resources to do so. My dad owned his own construction company for several years. And so that was something that was important to him making sure that we understood finances, him making sure that we understood real estate and everything that we need to know and be equipped to move forward in life. And so I have an engineering bachelor's degree. I have a communications master's degree so that I can be equipped with whatever direction I want it to go in the entrepreneur realm. The day of isn't my first business venture, but my dad, my mom are just some incredible people.
That's awesome.
to make sure we had that as an option.
Yeah. It's not, there's a level of confidence that has to come with starting a business, and fear, and being a little crazy, risk adverse. You know, there's all of these things to starting your own venture, kind of jumping off the ledge, so to speak. And it's hard.
Yeah.
It's really hard. I love talking to entrepreneurs because most people just don't get it if you haven't done it. You know, you hear a lot of I remember being an employee at a job, you know, that I was working at, and people being like, oh, what are they doing? They're just off taking long lunches, and where are they at? They're never in the office. And that's so not the case.
No.
They're never not working. You're never not working.
Yeah.
Like, even if you're not working, you're still like thinking up a new idea or solving a problem in the back of your head that, you know, is one of many or whatever. And so I love talking to people who get that, because in a way it's kind of like a sickness that we all have, that we're like,
well, and then some people say, why don't you just go get a job? And that doesn't sit well with everyone.
Yeah.
As much as it's as easy for some people to just get a job, which is totally fine. We need everyone to play a role, right? But that means we also need entrepreneurs to start businesses so that people can go get that job.
Yeah.
People are wired and designed in particular ways. And so the world goes around because we have entrepreneurs.
Yeah. Yeah. People need to create the jobs.
Yeah.
And I think it's just a really cool thing to be able to create. And I think that we've all kind of gotten to this at some point. You're either there, or you're going to get there, where you're the problem solver of, you know, the people bringing problems to you. And it's, I feel very privileged to have people come and ask questions. And I think that imposter syndrome is a really big thing for almost everyone who started a business, that you're just like, I'm the adult today. Like, where did
it's on me? It's on me. I gotta do this.
Yeah, it's wild. It's a really like weird thing. But you know, we've talked about getting a job, and I don't know. One of my mentors told me once that I was the worst employee he ever had.
Thank you.
And at the time he told me, he's like, "This is really going to hurt your feelings." And at the time it did. I was like, "Is my job okay?" And now I think that was such a compliment. I mean, still it stings a little. Yeah, but you know, it's little moments like that really push us into like this kind of risky world of starting a business that they said would be a lot of fun, and it is. But
I enjoy it.
Yeah.
And it comes with its moments, of course, with anything. Even when you're at work, in your job, doesn't it come with moments? So it's the same.
That's just part of it. So I think one of the coolest things about Easton Park and the entrepreneurs in Easton Park is almost every small business that we've talked to that's been based out of Easton Park, there's this looming giant that does it bigger, better, could, you know, for us, it's the payroll and HRIS systems, where they could come in and wipe us out and there's no way we could stand a chance. You know, we were just talking to Latif and Jen, and they were like, the Lifetimes and the Gold's Gyms of the world. But I think what's so cool about Easton Park is that we've all got each other's back.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a really cool network to be in.
Yeah.
Have you worked with anyone in Easton Park yet?
I have
Awesome.
a couple of photographers,
Awesome.
videographers, currently working with a bridal gown designer that we had. I
What?
know that we have in the neighborhood. Yeah.
That's amazing. I think it's just so cool to lift each other up.
Oh
And
yeah.
in this kind of, it's almost like we have this little micro economy within the
Right
walls of Easton
here.
Park. And
Yeah.
we all want to work to like help each other and work together.
Mm-hmm.
And we have some clients that live in Easton Park, and it's just, there's a next level of accountability to them because you got to see them at the events,
You know you're gonna see me.
yeah, like, and you don't want to see someone and be like, oh, I don't,
Yeah.
I didn't do a good job, or I didn't try my best, or whatever. You would be like, yeah, I can't wait to go see them out in the world and
Mm-hmm.
hope that they're telling other people in Easton Park
Yeah.
about the job that you did. What an exciting time for all of us.
Yeah. We just, like you said, have that unique space, and not only are we able to work with the people that live here, but then the people that live here vouch for you. They
Yeah.
advocate for you. And so then that just broadens, everything that we have, because
Yes.
they're going to tell their family members, their friends, their, network of people.
Everyone.
And it's a great place.
It's beautiful. And I think that it's so cool because it is so genuine. And I
Yeah.
think people really will go, and that's why you have to do such a good job with any client, of
Yeah.
course, because you got a whole network out for everyone that you work with. But there's just something special about working with people that are your neighbors.
Yeah.
And there's special relationships that you have with your neighbors. And then you tack on this like exchange of money for goods and service that we provide.
Mhm.
And it just becomes this really like, I don't know, it's like intimate,
Yeah.
it's wild.
It's home.
It's home.
You're taking care of home.
What is, what's your favorite thing about, other than community,
Mhm.
living in Easton Park, as far as like the amenity center or like activations that they do?
I love the amenity center. It's just such a sweet spot. I mean, it has kind of like your day-to-day things, the gym, the pool, office kind of space. You
Yeah.
can work remote if you need to, or just hang out. And as you're hanging out, you see your neighbors hang out, then the two of y'all are hanging out.
Yeah.
And so it is just a really, really neat spot. I can't wait for amenity center number 2.
Yes. Yeah, that was going to be my next question, is like, what do you wish there was more of?
Yeah, more of that space, more of
Yeah.
those opportunities. I mean, because we're growing so much,
Mhm.
it's like, all right, we need more space to be able to have community. So the amenity center we have now is fantastic, but we just need more space, I think, to
Yeah.
have more community.
Agreed. It was so cool when they opened up the amenity center, and
Yeah.
it used to be, I think they called it Experience Park, which
Mm.
is now Model Homes, but it was
Okay.
this kind of like makeshift area where people could hang out. They did events there. It just wasn't a lot
Okay.
of spaces outside. There was it was like a container that I could be wrong, but anyway, they're very, very creative about it. And I
Yeah.
really like that about Brookfield and Easton Park, is that it does seem to be so community focused, which is a lot of the reason that we moved here.
Mhm.
You had the unique experience of working at the union. Can
Yeah.
you talk a little bit about that?
Sure. So my husband and I, we moved here, like I said, a little over a year ago.
Mhm.
And so when we did, I quit my full-time tech job
Okay.
after 6 years, and I was like, I just want, something little to do, something small to do in the neighborhood. The opportunity came up, and so I went in there and I just started working. And I'm so thankful for the experience. It helped me out so much in a couple of different ways.
Yeah.
One, I'm new to the community, so I got to see and meet neighbors as they're coming in, viewing the amenity center. I gave tours. I helped people buy homes here.
That's awesome.
So it was a really unique experience, and it helped out just because I was so new to the area and to the community altogether.
That's awesome. And I'm sure it was fun. We love Paul, and
Yes,
working with
he's
Paul is
amazing.
just like special. It's just amazing. Paul actually worked with Colette, who
Oh, yeah,
was like the
yeah.
first activities director. I don't want to butcher, but we love Colette, and she actually moved to Atlanta, which is very cool.
Girl.
I think when she moved, she was doing something with like directing like a YMCA, which
Okay.
was really her passion. So it was really sad to see her go, but everyone was super happy for her.
Yeah.
But then Paul kind of took over that space, and he's been great.
Yeah.
It's been so fun to work with him. So there are so many wedding planners,
Mhm.
coordinators, concierge, all of these services
Mhm.
now for brides and grooms. At what point someone gets engaged and they're so excited, at what point would they know that they need you? And can you kind of explain the difference between like the wedding planning and you as a coordinator?
Absolutely. So, excuse me, a wedding planner is somebody that you say, I'm engaged. Here's my wedding date. This is my vision. Make it happen. And they literally take everything on and they plan your wedding.
Okay.
I am a coordinator, meaning I coordinate what you have picked or what you have designed. So you can book with me in a couple of different spaces in your planning process. You can say, Christina, we are just engaged. Here are some of my ideas, some of my visions. I already have a videographer, a baker, a couple of other vendors. Excellent. Now I have some things to manage. Now I have something to coordinate, and I support them through the planning process from there. Or they can say, Christina, hey, we really want to have control of everything, and we just need you to step in, make sure we did everything correctly, and be our day of coordinator. So then I can work with them about 3 months out from their wedding date and say, give me everything that you've worked on. Now let me manage it. And I support them through that. And then I manage the entire flow of their wedding day. So I'm there with them when they wake up all the way through their send off.
Awesome. And if they need to contact you, what's the best way that a new bride or a newly engaged person could reach out to you?
Yeah, the quickest and easiest way is to go to my website, thedayof.com. And that way you're able to book a consultation with me. It is free, but that way you're able to put in any additional information that I may need to know, any details that I may need to know. So we are able to have a fruitful conversation.
And how long does that conversation usually last?
Up to an hour.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Does it usually take the whole hour?
Yeah.
Yeah, you probably like need more time. Has there been a situation where someone other than the bride or groom has booked you for the day of?
Yeah, a couple of scenarios when that happened. And both times I want to say the moms, the mother of the brides have secured my services. And it's helpful because usually people say, it's like planning a party. I can plan it, I can do it myself. And then they get overwhelmed and they don't know how to get out of the work that they've already done. And so their support system, usually mom or dad, will say, let's get some help. And so they'll reach out to me and say, this is what we've done so far, can you help us? And I'll come in, still have the consultation no matter where you are in the process so that I can understand what it is that you want, what you're looking for, what you've already done, so that I'm able to appropriately manage it moving forward.
Do you think it would be appropriate for a family member to buy your services as a gift for the couple?
Absolutely. And I usually say that if you know someone is getting engaged soon, if they're already recently engaged and they just don't know where to start, and they're excited, they're overwhelmed, they're nervous, they're anxious, and they just don't know where to begin, absolutely. Contact me, let's talk about it so that we can get you started on your planning, route, your planning guide.
Sure. If someone were to, it sounds like the consultation, the hour-long consultation that you do is probably super important so that you
Yeah.
really understand what they're asking. If someone is going to gift your services, would you want to have the consultation with them or with the couple?
With the couple, I will always, when is the best time to connect with the couple? When can the couple connect with me? My focus, my client at the end of the day are the two people that are getting married. I want to make sure that those two people have the best experience. And because they have the great experience, everyone else is going to have a great experience. And that's why it is valuable to have a coordinator on site to manage your day, because you don't want your family members, you don't want your friends, or someone who doesn't know how to manage the heat of the day to be able to say, sure, flowers go there. What if a vendor is late? What are you going to do? I am 10 years later, I'm able to put out fires without anyone knowing. I'm able to pivot. I come with a lot of tools already. So emergency kits that I've built over 10 years of experience, I have everything you need, you didn't even know you needed. And then the people in your bridal party, the things that they need. So the value that I bring is, I mean, my tagline truly says it. You have a hands-off experience. Enjoy your day. You're married now, but I manage the people. I manage the other services. I manage the venue. I manage the day. I manage the fires. Anything that can possibly happen is on my shoulders.
For someone who's hired a wedding coordinator and they're at the end of the day and they were, their experiences, what do they do? Everything went so smooth. What would you say to that?
Everything. I did everything. I mean, the day is so full, right? So what I do is when my couple wakes up, I meet them at the hotel, the Airbnb, wherever they stayed. The first thing I need to lay eyes on you. I need to make sure you're good. Your bridal party, is everyone accounted for? I know I saw you all last night during rehearsal. Does everybody, we're good? All right, then I go to wherever the groom and the groomsmen are. Are we good? Excellent. I'm going to the venue. So that's already like 6 a.m., 5:30 a.m. most wedding days that start that early. Then I go straight to the venue. I have vendors calling me, texting me. I'm laying my eyes on what has already been done at the venue. So there are so many moving pieces already. Then I go back to where the bride and the groom are. I am helping them get ready. I am, if anything needs to be handled or taken care of, or any fires need to be put out. Like I said, I have my emergency kit with me. So it's like, oh no, we have a stain on the dress. Don't worry, I can fix it. I thought I was going to be a fashion designer many moons ago. So give me a needle and thread, I can fix just about anything. So those are the skills that I've developed over several years that I'm able to kind of manage just truly anything that can happen that day. And you won't see me because I'm just moving around so much, but I do pause for very particular moments. So as my bride is getting dressed, 100% of the time I'm there. As my groom is getting dressed or the final touches, I'm 100% there. As they arrive to the venue, I am there. So when they get there, I'm already there. So there are particular moments that are important to me to be visible, to be on site for, and be present for, because family members can get real emotional, and you're going to need somebody that, all right, you're about to walk down the aisle. Do we need to say a quick prayer? And you need somebody other than a family member who's going to be just too emotional for you. I am there.